Previously on Sailing Miss Lone Star, we bent the brand new sails sponsored by Far East. Last week, it hailed on us sideways in some of the nastiest weather I've sailed in, as far as being uncomfortable.
How's it going now?
Turning sideways! I wish we had a Dodger!
I wish so too. Can you take my watch, please?
It's hail!
What?
It's hail!
It's hail?
It's hail!
This week on Sailing Miss Lone Star, we sailed a cuddy hunk, which is the first destination in our long trek south. We hunt down a hot shower, which is something a sailor will never turn down.
There's one thing a sailor will never turn down, and that's a hot shower.
We finish up some quick little projects after our shakedown sail as we prepare for our sail south.
Not the best gentleman right now, but we have to get south. So Little Miss is doing really good. We're beating into the wind. It's at 20 knots of wind. We have a little bit of head sail out, no main, and we're doing 5.5 knots beating into the wind. So I'm really impressed with this little boat. She's really doing well.
I too am impressed with the little boat. It's a cold and wet and rough day sailing, and we do not have the proper gear, but we're getting it done. Okay, here's the carnage of our tack. Oh. It's cold, and the engine went out. Didn't go out really. We just broke the clip that goes into the fuel intake pipe for the engine, and we don't have a new one. We had two, but the second one pulls air, so we are on only sail. We have no power, so we've turned back to cuddy hunk. Stefan's not feeling so good. The seas are really rough. It's very, very cold. And the next 3 days we're looking at 35 to 40 knots of wind right on the nose from where we're trying to go. So we're gonna hopefully be able to hunker down in cuddy hunk with our brand new anchor. That's 45 pounds, so that's a little higher rated than what we need, so that's good. Yeah, it's a little disappointing, and we're cold and we're wanting to get south, and we're just a little bit disheartened, but we're going to get into cuddy hunk here, which is a pretty easy entrance if you're not going into the pond. So we're going to go into the bay of cuddy hunk, and then we'll call the harbor master and see if we can get a dinghy tow or something like that into the pond.
Welcome to Cuddy Hunk with the boat towing us in. We're not licking wounds, we're just very humbled and very happy that everything turned out fine. We did very well on our way to Block Island. I think that we were very brave. We did well, Little Miss did well. We did about 10, 12 miles into the wind. We were really beating very hard, and then unfortunately we lost the engine. So if we did not lose the engine, I'm pretty sure that we would have done it. We would have been fine. We lost the engine, it's okay. We're gonna fix it as something small. It's not the engine, it's just a little fitting, and I don't have a spare. And so, lesson learned. And so that just once again shows you, you know, never think that you know it all, never think that you can do it all. Just sailing keeps you humble, man.
Okay, we have some downtime in cuddy hunk, and we were just working on the rigging. I just went and changed the shackle and the main up top and added some mousing, and now we're working on the Traveler. So we've got a couple different sheaves and whatnot that were given to us.
Yeah, so the problem is that I think, you know, it's so porous after years that now when you use it, it's starting to brittle off.
Chafe the lines.
It's going to chafe the line. So, and also I have this much bigger one, and for some reason, I don't know why, I always want to make everything 4 or 5 times as strong. So this is the first one, and this is the second one. No, it's a gear hauer. and so I'm going to replace this with this nice little wheels. And it was really tough getting this off, but once again,
WD.
water displacement 40, baby. I have to try and figure out how we're going to do that.
Bolt that in. That's a really small pad eye right there.
It is kind of small, eh?
Yeah.
I think we don't have to bolt. I'm going to just hook it in there.
Yeah. Burr, it's cold.
It's very cold.
My fingers weren't working. I did a terrible job mousing the shackle up there.
You did?
Yeah.
So it's a little bit too long, I think, because then this car is going to come here to there. But that extra 3 centimeters is really not going to make that much of a difference. Okay, so we have this project on Hunk Island right now to replace this one, as we said earlier. So the problem that we have is it's been in there for 27 years. So heat is going to make it swell and then go back again, and it gets a little bit looser, then you try and make it loose a little bit.
So wouldn't it be better if we put ice on it? Because then it would
kind
shrink.
of ice out here.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I've already put some WD-40 on it. I'm going to heat it and then let it cool down and try it a little bit, and heat it and try it a little bit, and hopefully we can get it off. If we break this, we have no mainsail, because then we have no traveler. So this is quite important, so it's going to have to take some love.
It's probably good. See? Watch your fingers. So tighten and then untighten. There. A little movement. Your outfit looks so good. Oh yeah, African strength.
And I want to push down it as much as possible so I don't break it off and strip it.
Woo, there it comes.
It wasn't moving at all earlier.
There it is. Nice. Cool. We got it.
That's it.
Nice.
A little bit of love and patience. Okay, so I got this one off too. That one is a little bit bent. I'm giving it some WD-40, get it nice and working again. This one I'll just replace this screw there, and this one I'll put there. They're not the same size, but we don't have a shop here. But it's going to be much easier. This one's going to go there, and this one's going to go there, and it's going to be much stronger and much more reliable.
They're picking up the mooring lines, you guys. Season is over.
So everything on the boat that's old is trying to tell us I'm old. That's the other one that's old.
Okay, so what we can do is we can bring the hose pipe up through and then just...
For now.
Yeah, for now, use it like that. Okay, we've got the sink out. And this is just completely rotten.
Well, I think it's just years and years of oldness.
1976. So
maybe one day when I'm old, I'm just gonna crack like that. I'm cracked. So that's good news. That's great news.
What? Wait. What? I didn't miss the good news.
Well, it's great because it happened while we're not sailing. It happened while we have time to fix it. It happened while we're chilled, and this is the best news ever. It could have happened while we needed water.
That's been like the theme of this trip.
Yeah, it is the theme of the trip. Like everything's happening.
Everything
at the right
breaks
time,
at the right time.
and we're fixing it, and we're improving the boat, and this boat's gonna go around the world, so we need to start looking at this. This is why we're not sailing right now. Gale force winds, it's about steady 27, 28, and then it picks up to about 35.
Everything under the sink is sopping wet, and we realize that the faucet had snapped off under the sink. We head into Hunk to see if we can somehow find a missing part. Can you even believe it? We found someone on Hunk that has exactly what we need. There is no hardware store, there is not even a grocery store open, and we found someone here that has at least 2 or 3 of everything. It's amazing.
With this most amazing shop. I mean, look at this. It's so beautiful and clean and neat. I just want to sleep in it.
I know.
I want to make stuff. I feel creative when I go in places like this. So this is the old one, and this is going to be the new one. It's perfect.
We could not believe our luck that we were able to find exactly what we needed on this island. There's no hardware store, and there's only 4 people left after the season came to a close. Cutty Hunk has 12 full-time residents that stay there year-round.
If you guys have watched season 3, episode 1, this is where it all began, and I started on my own. And for some reason, I found myself back here year after year. So this is my 2nd year in a row here with Stefan. And we're gonna show you around a little bit. If you can see behind me, there's these turtles sunning themselves because it's so cold here. Another fun fact is that there's only about 12 residents here on the island that stay year-round. So there's a mass exodus last week. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, and here's 2 of the people going by right now.
It's really special as I've been here before, but when we were here there was a lot of people. So this is kind of cool. It feels like we have the island to ourselves. So let's go show you what it looks like when it's an exodus.
It is one of the most beautiful islands. Although it doesn't have blue water, there's a charm to Cutty Hunk that you just can't deny. Cutty Hunk is a safe haven and is a fishing village. Their main export is oysters.
Oh, don't drink it! How does that taste?
Rainwater. We are at a haunted house in Cutty Hunk.
We were offered a shower at the inn.
We were offered a shower at the end. Let's see what it looks like. Hello? Hello?
Oh, here it is. Babe,
Yeah?
they set it all up for us.
They did?
Yeah. Look,
Oh, that's nice.
towels and soap and everything.
Wow.
It's so nice.
It's a beautiful place, hey?
Don't give up the ship.
So this inn is obviously one of the most famous places here on this Cutty Hunk Island because it's always full. And look at the view. That's Martha's Vineyard there at the background. And everybody's been so friendly and accommodating, and they said, do you need a shower? Oh yeah, well you can go to the inn, there's no one there. So this is cool. Look at that. Look at this, is our big boat. It's the bar.
Oh, that's so neat.
So any of you guys has been to the Avalon Club in Cutty Hunk, this is what it looks like when there's no one here. It's like kind of like a haunted house, eh? Nice shower.
Ooh, it's cold.
There's one thing a sailor will never turn down, and that's a hot shower. We are in a abandoned, haunted, no, it's not haunted.
It is haunted.
We're in Avalon.
Cutty Hunk is not heaven, but it's close to it. A warm shower, my friends.
Okay, we are done with our long discussions in the shower.
Tell us what you thought about that. Quite interesting.
We are leaving Las Vegas. No, we're leaving the inn right now, the Avalon, and we're gonna walk. It's kind of cold, and my hair is wet, and Stefan's hair is wet, and it's about a mile walk back.
We're gonna go put Farrah Fawcett in the boat right now.
Yes.
Let's go.
It's a popular place near Martha's Vineyard, but nothing like Martha's Vineyard. It's small and quaint, and the people are so kind and accommodating. After we enjoy our nice warm shower, we head back to Little Miss to finish up our projects.
And the boat's moving quite a bit.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a little. My stomach's getting a little weak.
Stomach?
A little bit. It's a butt bath.
I made a lot of promises to myself here. I made a lot of big decisions about what I was going to do with my life and how I was going to continue to sail. Every time we've tried to sail past this island, for some reason, we've had to stop here. What was the reason before? We ran out of fuel last year.
We have a bottle of sangria, which makes it just so much better.
I may or may not have a bottle opener in my pocket.
A what?
A bottle opener in my pocket.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Sailing Miss Lone Star. And if you are not part of the Club 500 awesomeness yet on Patreon, please make sure that you go over to patreon.com/Miss Lone Star. Be part of the monthly raffles and all the great stuff that we do there every day. See you next week on the next edition of Sailing Miss Lone Star.